this is Russ. Yeah, we're at a new restaurant here. Well, they're not new, but it was new to us. This is Szchewan North in Glenview, Illinois. So we went here on a Sunday after church, so probably a little after 12 something we were here, maybe 12:30, give or take. And so we had noted that there was only one other couple, you can see them there, that was in there with us, and that was it. Yeah. It was just us. Now, first thing I noticed, this is some fried wonton skins. These are some things we ordered: pea pod leaves and green beans with preserved vegetables, and then dried chili chicken. Okay. This is beef chow fun with onions. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. And then fish and sour cabbage. All right. Now, the one thing that I noted is they have no music going on, so the atmosphere was pretty dead overall. It didn't have any type of music or anything going on, so very, very quiet in there. Now, overall, the staff was very friendly and nice. We didn't have any problems with that. Decoration was really nice in there. I thought it was a very nice looking restaurant. Overall taste of most of the items were pretty good, okay? But we did have some issues. At least I had some issues with some of the things. The first thing I would note is that portions are very small for the prices of the dishes. Now, my sister-in-law ordered the dishes, so I don't know what each individual thing cost, but the total of this meal was $118 and something cents. And then we also gave them a tip on top of that, which was about 18%. Okay, so anyway. Here's just a quick flyover of some of the dishes that we have here. This is another dish that we added, that's dan dan men. Now, the one thing with the dan dan men that we noticed that it had vinegar. I guess it's supposed to have some, but it had a little too much vinegar. It was pretty powerful. So it didn't agree with me. I didn't really like the dish too much. I don't think the others liked too much either, based on the fact of the vinegar. So you do have to mix this dish together in order for everything to be distributed properly. Okay, so let me go into real quickly about some other issues we had. We had the beef chow fun, which was actually very good, but the problem is that we had asked for them to put no onions in there, so they wrote it down as more onions. So it came out with a lot of onions. Now, we kind of mentioned it to them, but they didn't do anything about it. They just kind of left it. And this is the problem that I've noticed on some of the reviews of this restaurant, is that people had complaints about things, but nothing got changed after they complained about it. And I would have to say that seems to be the case with this restaurant. So, so overall, I would say, while in general the food tasted pretty good, it had good wok hei, which is the flavoring based on the cooking within the wok. Some major mistakes, like putting in onions where nobody liked the onions on there, and then they put more than you even wanted, and then they didn't correct it. The one thing too that I noticed too is that they do charge you for hot tea, $9.75 for a small pot of hot tea. That's expensive, and many restaurants do not even charge for tea for a Chinese restaurant. Some do, but not $9.75. So overall, I felt it was an expensive restaurant for what they give you. They don't give you enough quantity to make it worth that kind of money. And then I did pay by Apple Pay, which they were able to take. And then when it's time to give the tip, you didn't have a whole lot of options other than 18% and higher. So I gave them the 18%, and it's still, I don't know whether they're charging that on the food only or the total with the tax and then 18%. So time will tell. But at this recording, I don't really know, during the editing that is, what they ended up really charging. So would I go back to this restaurant? I would have to say no, not because of the food taste or anything. It's because I felt I didn't get enough for the money. And I didn't like being charged for the tea, and I didn't like the fact that they didn't correct the problem that they put down with the onions, where we had told them no onions, and they gave us a whole bunch of onions and didn't even offer to correct that problem. So there you have it. That's my review of this restaurant. Try it if you want, but that's my review.